session on machine learning. Over to you, ma'am.
Hello, folks. So, have you ever wondered, like, whenever you, like, how, first of all, how many of you use Instagram or Amazon or any other high tech product that you are like, any application, basically, any famous app that you are using? So, whenever you open Instagram, do you ever wonder, like, whatever you were thinking, how is Instagram able to find out whatever exactly you were thinking? Or you talk to somebody about something and they are able to show you the ad in the next 1 hour, or you are talking to your friend on phone and you are talking, basically, I want bamboo toothbrushes, and suddenly it will start showing you bamboo ads or sustainable product ads or things like that. When you go to Amazon and if you are trying to buy a shampoo, it will also show you that other people also bought conditioner with it. So what is all of this, and how do people or how do these machines or these products are able to find out what you should buy or what it should recommend you? So, welcome to this talk, and it will be a basic introduction to what data science is, what machine learning is, and how to like get into this field. What are the basics you need to like start with? What do you need to practice to like do? So, let's get started. So I'll give you a basic like introduction to what all fields are there. So it is not, so everybody wants to become a data scientist today. Like if you are in a tech field, even the first year college student wants to become a data scientist. Even 10-year-old professionals, they want to become data scientists. But do we really know what all it has or what all it takes to get into it? So let me introduce you to a few fields that we have in data science. Just a second. So there are different fields like, let me introduce you to data analytics. There is data engineering, data mining or statistical analysis. Then we have machine learning, data visualization, business intelligence, etc. Let's get to it like one by one. So if we talk about say data engineering, the okay, so if you want to build some predictions or if you want to like do some analysis, you'll need data first. What data engineers do is they source the data and they form it into a very understandable or a format that you can feed into the machines. So the machine does not, so there might be data coming from, say, Excel sheets. There might be data coming from Google, like Excel sheet, Google sheet. There might be data coming from MySQL servers. People might store it in a NoSQL database, or they might have flat files or random types of different kinds of silos people can have for data. Data engineer is a person or a job role. Data engineering is a job role where people take in different kinds of data, they they crunch it and they do data munging to form it into a format that the machine can understand. So they'll take the data from all the different silos and they will make the data readable by the machine. This is the role of a data engineer. Moving on to data analytics. So once this kind of data is ready, no, before that we need data mining. Somebody has to bring in all the data. So data crunching part is done, taken care by the data engineer. But who will bring this data? For example, if you want to know, say, wholesale manufacturers of tin boxes or wholesale manufacturers of any XYZ product, you'll type into your search engine about the product that you want to buy and you'll type wholesale. There would be different shops coming in from your local area, or there might be India Mart or Trade India or some site like this in India I'm talking about. So there might be some sites like these which will show you that these have the files or these have the data that you need. Somebody has to mine all this data. So if you want somewhere, like say, so we did this for a client. A client wanted they had this team that they were serving, and they were the marketing experts for those, and they wanted us to scrape all the 5 million tweets, like 5 million Twitter followers for their account. So we use the Twitter API to scrape that data. So this kind of a work is done by a data engineer. A data mining expert, or this is a part of data warehousing. Like you mine the data from the different kinds of data sources. This is just one simple small example of what can be done in a like data mining part, like or data scraping part. What us are there is a also there is also a user or a role called as data analytics. So data analytics and data visualizations, they go hand in hand. So if you have data and you want to make some statistical analysis on it or do exploratory data analysis, for example, you want to understand the spread of data, like the average number of males per females, or you want to like you have like report cards of all the college students like all the years, and you want to find the mean value, like where like how are these people performing, or the best rating for teachers, or any kind of numerical analysis that you want to do, or you want to do a categorical analysis, as in how many people like apples versus grapes, or any such thing. The analytics would be made, and this would be a part of a data analyst. They do exploratory data analysis to try to understand what the data is trying to show. Similarly, these kind of efforts are also put in by a data visualization engineer, whose basic job role is to beautify the results of the data. So basically, if you have like stakeholders or clients where you want to show that okay, these are 5 million people that we have, and go see the data, like 5 million views, and we have like the gender ratio, or any kind of different values like the population control or GPA or something, anything from the data. And if you have that kind of data, but the person who is reading that might not know what he has to or she has to do with that data. But if you present it very beautifully, very nicely, with a bar graph or different kinds of graph or histograms, say frequency charts, or any such kind of beautiful representations, colorful representations, it becomes much more easy to understand what the data is trying to speak to you. So this is the role of a data visualization engineer. So it completely depends in the size of company that you are working, or you are building one actually. So if you're working in a small startup, most of these roles are combined, and you are called a data scientist or you're called a data engineer, and you might be doing multiple roles. But as and when you get into a larger people company, or a company say with 5,000 employees, you might have a separate entire data division, where you might have people for engineering, visualization, analytics, warehousing, all the different kinds of stuff. There are also people as business intelligence. This is also a field of BI, where people use more like tools like Tableau, Power BI, or different kinds of tools to form these interpretations of the data. So that is not exactly a programmer's role, but it is somewhere related, like using the tools, they need to have the knowledge. This is mostly what we thought of about the different divisions that we have in like machine learning. Okay, we skipped down the most important part. A data scientist, what actually a data scientist or a machine learning engineer does. To understand that, first we need to understand what machine learning is. So, machine learning is basically a code which learns from itself. Like you feed in some data, it tries to understand what you're trying to say, or what, not exactly what you're trying to say, what you are like, what the data is showing, and it learns the patterns of the data, like how exactly, say, if you have a model where you show it 50 cat photos and 100 dog photos, and you have labeled images of these animals. If you show like 200th image of a photo, it has learned from all those features that a cat specifically has a furry mouth, or like bristles, or a specific view of a body, and the dog has a different feature. So this kind of a thing, a machine understands, it graphs the images, and then it builds a particular model where it can like now start predicting whether it is like a dog or a cat. So a machine which is self capable of learning from input and produces a percentage of truth value or percentage of probability of something happening. It is basically all is there in machine learning. By the concept, it is simple, but as and when you get into different use cases, it completely varies. Like as we took an example of like this is a classic image processing or a computer vision area of machine learning. So there might be like different use cases, like you want afforestation or deforestation values. You can look down from satellite photos to identify which areas of the global position, like of the global earth, like images of the satellite, which areas lack in the forest area or the water area, or you can like do the predictions or volcanic eruptions, etc. A lot of things can be done with the image processing thing. You can detect this is an interesting study that I did. I did this course from I did this course on understanding the precision medicine. So we studied the images, the CT scan of brain, and we tried to identify that what is the disease with the person's brain. So we fed in around 40,000 images of like different CT scan of different age groups, of different like male, female, or different characteristics. A person is suffering from a disease, if they're not suffering from a disease, and then we labeled each part of that image, like this section does what, and then the machine was automatically able to find out if the person has some specific wiring issue in the brain, or something like that. So this is like, these are all the like you can also have like genomic study, or gene sequencing, the CRISPR gene, what is it called? The CRISPR genomic sequencing. So these are all like things that you can do with image processing or computer vision part, face recognition, or etc. There is another category also called as recommendation engine, where a machine studies the patterns between the likes of something. So machine generally, so there are two types of recommendation engine. One is context based and one is content based. So let me give you two types of examples for it. If a machine like machine generally assumes that if a person A or an item A has certain properties and item B has certain properties, and if A and B are somewhere related, and if we talk about a certain third property which is somewhere similar to A or has somewhere common properties like A, it might also like the property B. Similar way how cousins look alike. So I and my brother, we both have similar features. My first cousin would have some similar features, but we both have a common parent. So we both have a common first generation or a second generation parent. So there might be a similar pattern of our habits or something, culture values or something like that. So the properties, if I have a similar property, if a third person comes in, they might also have the same properties. This is a basic like context. This is basic context how we like identify the how we recommend things. So if you have bought shampoo in the past and you have bought conditioner, and also you have bought some bathing soaps or some bathroom accessories or bathroom things, supplies, and similarly 10 other people have also bought these things in a similar fashion. So the machine understands, yes, after buying soaps or after buying shampoos, a person might also buy these things because other people are also doing the same thing. Similarly, there might also be a thing like, so this is like on a person's recommend, like person's pattern. There might also be a thing similar to uh, a context based. If this happens, then that happens. A pattern, as in, if there is a rain, there might be a rainbow. Like this is kind of a decision tree. If we talk about, like, if a certain pattern is being followed, if something else is also following a similar pattern, then the end results might be same. This is how a recommendation engine works. If we talk about, say, if we talk about natural language processing, which is an entire different, like, big category of machine where machine learning is used. So there might be things like machines producing music. There might be things like you speak something and the machine types it, the text to speech engine or the speech to text engine. So how are all of these things achieved? The machine tries to understand that the particular sound of this word might mean this, as the machine is being taught that A, B, C, D, or a specific language, every letter is sound, like every letter sounds this way. And if you find certain syllable or a sound like this, then type this. Excuse me. If say for example, there are also such machines which are like there are also such machine learning models which are able to make their own, generate their own sounds, like sound artists. Or say there is some machine like it can produce, it can learn, it can hear the animal voices and try to identify that this sound belongs to this particular animal. Or your okay Google or your okay Siri, how does it understand that what you're trying to speak? All of these are part of the speech engine, the natural language processing part. With image processing, I would like to also add one more use case. There are general adversarial networks like GANs. They can paint your machine, like they can paint your in so for example, if you like a certain artist, just take in their couple of not couple, like just take in their images and feed those into the machine, like a GAN network. The machine will try to understand how all, like what all painting strokes or strategies or every kind of images that the artist has used, and it will be able to paint the entire, it will be able to paint the entire painting by itself, a computer generated painting. That is the level of AI that we have reached. So this is a part of image processing and computer vision. There are also a lot of also a lot of use cases, like when you're using, if you're using Google keyboard, or if you are using if you are using any intelligent keyboard, when you type in a few words, it starts recommending you what next words could be. How is this done? So this so the machine understands, like it makes a very basic technique to do this is by doing a n-gram model. N-gram means like it takes entire text of let's say 500 words, and then it will divide all the text into like 3 to 4. So n-gram is, n is a number of words that you're using in a single bracket. So you can use say 3 gram or a 4 gram model. It will try to understand, I am Savvy Jain, is a one bracket. I am savvy Jain who lives in. So we'll do 4 words, then we slide it by a word. Then we do am savvy Jain here, or something like that. So the text, it divides into like 3 to 4 parts in the entire text, and then the machine feeds in, okay, these 4 words come together, okay, these 4 words do not come together, and that is how a machine understands the pattern between uh, these things. Like this is how machine learning works. If now I'll give you a bit of like how can you get started with your career. Like these are all the basic introductions on what all is there waiting for you to explore. So if you want to get into like data science as a practitioner with your early days of college or of your profession, and if you're not very familiar, first get your hands on logical programming. You need to have you need to have very good logic. You need to understand the basics of, maybe say, hands on with Python, or at least one language you need to like completely understand. And nowadays Python is like much appreciated because a lot of data science libraries are working on Python. So you need to understand and work with Python. You don't have to be a master with the language, but you should know how Flask APIs are run, or you should understand how can you basically call the libraries or start working with the libraries. If you want to get into neural networks, you should understand at least one of these libraries like TensorFlow or PyTorch, or there are several other libraries. But if you understand like one library, it is easier to like learn more libraries. So you should not become a master of all the tools, but you should have a basic understanding of how to use whichever tool is provided to you, or whichever tool you need to. Start practicing on Kaggle. Kaggle is a very good platform where you can log in, you can search for different tasks or different questionnaires or competitions, and you can participate. If you are a beginner, and if you are a little like scared to participate, or if you are a little hesitant to participate, you can take in you can like look at the other people's you can look at the other people's submissions and try to understand what all they did to do, like complete an app, or complete some submission. Try reading, like you should understand basic Git to use. Like you can use GitHub, Bitbucket, or any other version control system, but you need to understand the basics of Git to like collaborate with other people. That's it pretty much. When you have the basics of these, you can maybe start practicing different use cases, like create a basic dog versus cat filter, or create a email spam versus not spam. But these are just introduction to the topic. If you make a dog versus cat filter and write it in your resume that you did that, and if you're actually applying for a position of data scientist, the recruiter will not hire you, because they know that this is like, when you write I am interested in machine learning, it should also show that you are interested in machine learning. You should have worked on 10 to 15 or 20 your self-hosted projects. Always show self-hosted projects to like recruiters. If you are interested in something, show. If you're writing that I've done these 2 3 projects in the like ML, or I did this voice recognition system. Voice recognition system is a basic library which is available. If you did nothing custom, it's not even worth mentioning on your resume. So make applications. Try some real life implementations of data science. uh, you can find plenty of like make something like fashion MNIST or something like that. Maybe start with that and go on improving your code. Then getting into deep learning. Try understand the basics of deep learning, or how neural networks work, or say how other different algorithms work. Why is one algorithm better than other algorithm? How does the math of it work? You should really understand what is the mathematics behind it. Scikit-learn you can always call and use, But professionally, scikit-learn does not solve your problem. You should understand how to write things from scratch. If someday some library does not work, you should still be able to continue working. You should not be dependent on some tool or library to like create your entire career. That's it, pretty much. uh, we can take in questions now if we want.
Uh, Guys, we can now start the Q&A. So if you have any queries or doubts, you can put in the comments. We'll be happy to take your questions. Okay, so ma'am, one of the questions that I'm getting is from Yash. So he's asking, what's the one thing or place you would suggest for beginners to go to? So basically, he must be asking where to start with machine learning. Yeah.
So you have plenty of resources available. Maybe start with towards data science or some medium blog posts. Uh, some really good some really good people or really good channels that I have followed are towards data science. There is this person who runs. I don't exactly remember that person's name, but he runs he runs a Canadian data science company. He has also written this book called as a 100-page ML book, Andriy Burkov. Andriy Burkov. So you can also refer that book. It is a bit advanced, but it gives you a brief about all the technology, like all the things needed for your basic. If you want to go with a bit advanced thing, you can go with this Jan Goodfellow book for machine learning. And if you do not want to go with like books, you want to like try hands on, there are plenty of resources available. Even developer.google.com has a machine learning section where you can try out different like code. You can go to TensorFlow documentation to understand the basics. There are a lot of places where you can like reach out to. Medium is the easiest to, and most accessible. We can take up the next question.
Yeah. Some of the resources you have said, ma'am, yeah, it's very useful. Apart from that, you can also use our channel, Code Warriors. So we have uploaded some of the video tutorials on the same machine learning, starting with the basics and then jumping onto the advanced level with the coding part. So you can check it out. The next question is from Priyansh, and he's asking, is data engineer and machine learning engineer is somewhat the same profile?
So that is what I said in the session. It depends on the size of the company that you are in. So I used to work as a data scientist in my city, and our entire data science team was under 10 people. So we were the data engineer, we were the like data analyst person, we were the data science person. Everything was us. But if you are working with a bigger company, there might be different roles for different people, and a very specific guideline thing to do. Like there I know a few people who are like say spending the entire day, entire month, entire year working on Tableau. So it depends on which size of company you're working with, and what is the if like it completely depends. Like machine learning and data engineer profile is different, but a machine learning person must also know how to crunch the data. The data engineer might or might not know how to create a model. A machine learning person or a machine learning engineer is generally considered to be like overall person who knows the entire pipeline. Basically, their job role is to build the entire pipeline. I hope that answers your question, Priyansh.
Any more question, guys?
Do we want to take anything else?
I guess no, we don't have any more questions. So thank you for the session, ma'am. for coming here, investing your time, and I'm sure that most of the people have learned out of it. Thank you again.
Sure. And just to like conclude, you people can connect with like you people if you want to like connect with me, you can connect on LinkedIn. I am available by the name of Savvy Jain, or Twitter. Same, it goes by Savvy Jain. And also, my company is currently hiring, so we are looking for front end engineering roles, and we are also hiring for interns as well as fresh graduates. So if you do have like knowledge with React, Firebase, if you have knowledge with GraphQL or TypeScript, we are hiring. You can like connect with me, or you can apply at hr@cofiato.com.
Sure. Before we conclude this session, guys, we'll be providing you a link in the description, or one of our moderator will be putting a link in the comment. Just go to that link and you'll be redirected to a test. So just make sure that you appear for that test so that you can get the certificate. Only then you'll be eligible for the certificate. The questions will be completely based on the session which is just finished. So thank you, ma'am, for coming. Okay, thank you, guys. And don't forget, we have a series of workshops scheduled till 18th, and on 19th and 20th, we'll be organizing the virtual hackathon. It will be organized by Code with Code Warriors. So do participate in it. Till then, goodbye.